Hey guys, we are back for another beach clean treasure hunt of sorts. It's actually really high tide right now, higher than I've been down here in a long while, so the tide always brings in more trash, but usually that means that not a lot of new trash has come in until the tide has gone out and left it behind. So I think it was higher earlier though, so there might be some new stuff that's washed up. But you know, we'll take a walk down. I was here yesterday and it looked like the previous tide had left behind a fair bit of new trash even yesterday. So I picked some of that up, but I think it's interesting to come back to these spots and see how they have become retrashed, even with the tide not having fully gone back out yet. So yeah, we're gonna take a look and then share some treasures that we find. As they say, one man's beach trash is, I suppose, my beach cleaning treasure. So let's take a look. Well, I think this is going to be a slightly short clean today for the simple reason that I did not check the tides beforehand, and as tides do, when you're cleaning in a harbor, they will come up to what we have here, which are the edge of the cliffs. So it's kind of cut off going down any farther. So I'm going to head back and find a spot, because I'm realizing now too, I think the tide's going out, but if it's actually coming in at all, if it kind of looks like it is now, I might get cut off again because there's some wall barrier bulwarks over there. So you don't want to get cut off from the tide. So that's something to check and not be like me, who might become stranded if I sit here talking any longer. So let's head back that way, see what else we can find, and check out some goodies, some treasures. So normally I'd take the trash back to my place to go through, but at the expense of bringing trash to my house and sorting through it, it's actually so quiet out here. There's barely a wind. Usually I don't like to talk out here much anyways for that reason too. A little bit of a breeze, but as I say that, it starts to pick up a little bit, but hopefully you can hear me just fine. Yeah, I think I panicked a little bit with the tide. It's definitely going out, but and I should know better, because tides are fairly predictable in the fact that if you see damp water, or damp sand rather, from the water, closer to the shore, obviously, that means that it was recently wet, so the tide's probably going out. But I didn't want to wait anyways for the tide to go down enough to continue along that way. But the good news is I wasn't going to get trapped all along, so better to be cautious, like I said, but, you know, panicking a little bit on my part. So anyways, let's take a look here at some of the treasures I found today, of which some pretty standard ones, but some kind of interesting ones too. So we have a candy bar wrapper, pretty standard. Find these a fair amount. No candy inside of it, unfortunately, but lots of those around. No shortage of those. Also, I was so close to a full dining set. Sometimes I do find a full dining set, but plastic cutlery is quite common. And I got a fork and a spoon today. Usually I get a knife, as well, pretty commonly, really. But yeah, no shortage of these around, and of course, you know, these are horrible for marine life, especially as they start to crack and splinter and they get really sharp, and not nice to have around for marine life. Never leave home without your sand in here, your shotgun shells. Yeah, I find a lot of these around. You know, I'm not sure how many of these run down from the hills. Obviously, you know, as I've said in previous videos, a lot of beach trash, it does come from streams and storm drains and runoff and that sort of stuff. So you might be surprised that there's shotguns on your beach, or shotgun shells rather, on your beach. But those might just be running down from other places, you know, with rain and wind and that sort of thing. So obviously people can hunt. You know, I don't know enough about hunting myself in terms of different types of shotguns they use to hunt birds. That's definitely where probably some of it comes from, but like much other stuff, you know, some of it runs off. So I don't know if this originated at the beach, but, you know, regardless, I have another similar little thing here, which I believe is part of a shotgun shell too, or some sort of firearm. I find these a lot too. So again, whether they run off from other places to get here or not, I'm not entirely sure, but they do wind up here. Beaches is everywhere, pretty much. I got rope. You might have seen me trying to yank this out of the ground. You know, I like to get these because, like, I don't even think these are made of, like, hemp or anything, like rope fiber, like you would normally think. I'm pretty sure this is like a plasticky fiber. I have to confirm that with some research, but my instinct is to tell me that it's not great to have around, just, you know, degrading in marine habitats. So I'll have to ask some of my marine science friends about that, but I take them out. And it's funny, when you try to pull on those, sometimes they come out really easily, like you just get the stump of one, because that's all that there's there. And other times you get these long lines, and, you know, you don't want to hurt your back trying to torque too much, because if they're buried deep enough, they can almost be impossible to pull out. But, sorry about the wind. But, you know, you can give them a tug, and if they come fairly easily. You know, this just had, I think, like this little top bit. Sorry about the wind. This little top bit sticking out, and I was able to pull it and get all this, like the rope. It's probably about, this one's, yeah, about, I don't know, 6 feet long maybe or so. So not a small amount of rope, but more than it might look like. Dug up a treasure that way too, which is kind of cool. Got a lighter. Does not work. Go figure. Some ribbon, which kind of does the same thing as the rope. This comes a little easier, but it also breaks as well. Just a couple more things here. We got a green bag, kind of like my own green cleaning bag. This again, barely showing, and I kind of plucked it up and got this big bag out of it. This one's pretty rotten, so that's going in the trash. But, you know, I've gone out on beach cleans before. A lot of people, sometimes they tell me like, oh shoot, it's such a nice day, and I went to the beach, but I didn't have a bag, or I didn't have a picker or anything to clean with. Well, unfortunately, yet fortunately, there's plenty of bags usually lying around. So that's something I've done in the past, where, you know, you walk around long enough, you'll find a Ziploc bag even or something, and you can use that to, you know, not pick up crazier stuff, but, you know, certainly like cigarette butts and stuff like that. So just because, you know, you don't bring a bag, and in fact, that's actually maybe better, right? I have these eco-friendly bags. They're made from like a plastic oil, vegetable oil derivative or something. But eventually I want to switch entirely to reusable bags for obvious purposes. But, you know, again, if there's plastic bags on the beach, take advantage of them, use them. You know, they're there, they have to come out anyways if you're cleaning, so why not fill some of those up, right? And so just a couple other last items. Of course, you know, we've worked hard doing our beach cleaning, and I think we deserve a break, so have some light beer, enjoy some light beer. And of course, if you're not a beer drinker or an alcohol drinker, we always have some soft drinks, some Arizona fruit punch tea. Cans I don't clean. I mean, I clean them as much as I do anything else, but they're not as concerning to me as the plastic, because the plastic seems to be, there's so many other types of plastic that harm marine life in so many different types of ways. But cleaning the cans is still good, because you can recycle a lot of these that you find sometimes, and even those that you don't, you know, still the metals and the chemicals in the metal, and especially the paints and dyes on the labels and those sorts of things, aren't great for marine habitats and sea life anyways. And again, is it better to take that to a landfill? It's not ideal, but you can recycle some of it, and again, it's perhaps better sequestered somewhere like a landfill where they can manage it maybe a bit more as opposed to just free floating in the environment. So it does make a little bit of a change, but there's always more work to do. So the wind's actually picking up, so I'm gonna cut off here a little bit early, like I said. There's actually some new spots as beaches start to open back up again around here that I want to check out. So in the coming weeks after finals, once I'm done grading and things start to simmer down a bit, I'm going to have a lot more videos coming out in terms of some different locations, different types of locations that require sort of maybe different attention to detail, kind of knowing what to look for and where to look for it in a little bit different ways as opposed to just, going to a normal beach. And, it all depends on weather conditions, wind, tides, rocky beaches versus sandy beaches. There's a lot of factors to consider. So that's something that we'll talk about more as we get into some different types of diverse beach environments. So thanks for watching as always. If you have any comments, any questions, please, as always, share those. Let me know. I've actually gotten some really great feedback on a lot of these videos, so I'm always excited to hear what you guys think, and any suggestions or ideas that you have of your own. I learn a lot that way too. So yeah, thanks for checking us out. Subscribe for more videos. Like I said, we'll have more coming out soon. And until then, stay safe out there, everybody. And as always, I will see you hopefully eventually socially distanced, but still at the beach.